recording, but just a heads up. Yeah, like you said, I think it's great that you're an organic guy. When I come into these, it's more of just two friends hang out, and we're literally, knowing each other for a long time. So.
Yeah.
And if you ever feel like you need to re-say something.
I told you, man, about the ums and the uhs.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm telling you, I'm going to have some words that don't even make any sense.
Oh.
Did you watch my Philippine People's Television interview, the most recent one?
No, I haven't.
I said something about I said I wasn't raised Filipino, but I was kind of saying I wanted to say I wasn't raised in the Philippines. Seriously.
You're like.
But the hard thing is that when you do these news ones, they're so cold. They gave me interview questions heads up, but they don't ever follow it.
Oh, really?
So I
they
think,
go off script?
Yeah,
literally.
so like CNN, that was just off script. That was not even scripted. Only Manila Times and BTV were the only two that gave me heads up questions. But the journalist never follows it, man. They're just...
Because they try to get on the edge, right? Or they try to
they I don't think they just want, I think they just want genuine answers from me. And then I tell you, I'm super organic, so when it comes out, it's I say stuff like I wasn't raised Filipino or whatever, which is
and then they put that as a sound clip.
Yeah,
look at the short videos.
Yeah, the funny thing is I never watched a full interview, the entire interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I only watched the beginning and then a little bit of the end. I never watched the entire interview.
The meat.
Yeah, because I'm so embarrassed. No, trust me, man. I get embarrassed watching myself.
One thing I give you props though is that knowing that the time difference, what is it, 13 hours?
That's the problem. So when I'm in the Philippines, it's like they mess with me every time. So I did a morning news station. They got me there I had to be at I guess what do you call it? I forgot what they call it when you have to show up, with makeup and all that stuff.
Oh.
I had to be at 5:30 in the morning, And then, so it's no matter what, they always get me at the wrong time. So if I do a remote interview from San Diego,
yeah, those
it's always the evening news that they put me on. So it's it's early in the morning here. Even though I've done it 7 times, dude, it's still nerve-wracking.
Oh man.
I
give you props, bro. That's why I'm a little intimidated talking to you right now.
Nah, man, don't be intimidated. Dude, I'm intimidated just talking in front of all these people over here.
Oh yeah,
we're in Middle Forest Ranch.
Thanks for the segue, by the way. Yeah, we're here in Forest Ranch. Wow, we're actually having a really good organic interview right now, and thank you for...
We started already, right?
Yeah, we pretty much...
You should have told me that. You should have told me that.
It's okay.
Now I know we started. We're starting.
It's okay, we got some golden nuggets.
Woo!
Put that as, bonus footage. No,
It's only Gerard. It's Gerard. I knew him since middle school.
Yeah. So I wanted to make that as the intro, but I'll cut it up. I'm not going to be live feed these news interviews, but
whatever, man. I trust you.
Thanks, man. No,
I'm not going to make it look like a butthead.
We'll both together. Romel actually said something before we met up. He said, you chose the wrong guy because I'm very organic. I like to be raw. And well, he didn't say raw, but you know what I mean. Just natural.
That sounds a little bad.
I like to do this off the cuff too. I don't really like to... like you said, some people like to give questions before the interview. I don't have media training, so it's just 2 friends hanging out, and it's the truth because I've known Romel since 7th grade, right?
Yeah, since 7th grade.
We met in middle school at Challenger, and just thought, oh man, some one handsome Filipino meeting another handsome Filipino.
Oh, of course, man.
I guess
in our minds we call ourselves TFC all day, right?
There you go. Right? Yeah. I think the Philippines has tried to hit you up, right, to be an actor.
No, dude, I'm not trying to go that route, man.
I'm just kidding.
Dude, not trying to go that route.
But it's cool, man. I love it. Yeah, we've known each other since middle school, and then we kind of reconnected. I think last year, right?
Yeah, Cutwater
Spirits. Yeah, we met up.
I'm not gonna lie. I think of you not in that way, but sometimes you know when you're you're just randomly you kind of think, oh, whatever happened to? I haven't seen him in a while because there's this thought that just kind of occurs. You know what I'm saying? And you go, Gerard. I haven't seen Gerard in a long time, right? So
you're making me blush, bro.
I can't tell you specifically when, but it has
middle
happened.
of the night.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just kidding.
Maybe Gerard.
Good times. Don't worry, man.
Because
romance is blossoming
Philippine time, and then sometimes Gerard pops up. I
appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I just don't know when.
Okay.
But it has happened.
I'll think it's like middle of the night. I'll keep it at that. Just kidding.
That's good, dude.
I love you, man. No, thank you. I'm glad we reconnected because you've always been a good guy. And yeah, I think we also bumped into each other at church. I remember meeting your wife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to dox her. I'll not say her name unless you're okay with that.
Oh, Mary Jane. Yeah.
Yeah, Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we ran into each other when I was doing something at church.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the last time and then a little bit after. But I have to say, you and your wife, you guys are a lovely couple.
Oh, thanks. You kind of realize when you get to a certain age of what is like compatible with you and what you really value when you want to have a partner in life, you know. And I was super fortunate to have such a supportive wife, man, because, you know, being a tech founder or even publishing a first startup or like my first application, you know, people don't realize it's a super big risk. You know, we don't have an ROI, we don't have a return like your traditional businesses. We're like in the negative for a very long time because we value the growth of a product and we value a return. You know, we look at the possibilities of what it could do, then the wealth we could kind of generate from it. You know, so we always focus on the product first, and then if the money comes later, it does, right?
Yeah.
You know, it takes the right type of person to be with a certain individual like myself who is not risk averse, takes a lot of risk, and who isn't afraid of failure in a way. And because traditionally, a lot of, you know, especially being Asian, we're very structured. We want the 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's very cookie cutter.
Yeah, very cookie cutter. We want to have, you know, our finances in place. People like me, like, we're freaking chaotic. Like, left or right, up or down, shoot. I'm going to pick one way, but if I fail that way, oh, crap. Well, let me go the other way. Probably going to fail it that way also, you know? So you just, you know, it takes a certain woman to kind of be with a gentleman, like a person like myself. And
true,
dude, I was super fortunate, you know, and I'm a really lucky guy. And seriously, she is a blessing.
Oh, dang! I'm cheesing it, bro. This is.
I'm making myself blush. I don't know if it's hot, you know.
It is a little warm right now.
Yeah, I'm trying not to tear a little bit, man.
No, you know, Romel, I actually am very appreciative you kind of bring that up too, because you know, you are what's the correct term to call you?
You know, I don't know, man. You know, a lot of these like I guess titles in terms of my position. You know, that's always a tough question because I cringe at certain titles. Like I don't like
what's the cringiest one, I guess?
I don't like CEO. I don't like even just the word like the title entrepreneur. I think it's misused a lot. You know, even tech founder. I don't like that either.
Oh yeah.
I like to think of
I've always heard that a lot. Yeah.
Innovator or inventor. But then again, I didn't go to school for that. So
a dreamer.
Yeah. Let's be kind of corny with it. Call me a dreamer. You know, or
you are.
Yeah.
I like what you talked about because you know, even like the restaurateurs that I've talked with, there's always that risk of the significant other always, you know, not being on the same level, or usually it leads to a separation or divorce. You know, especially with the amount of effort and energy that you're putting into this. So shout out to Mary Jane. I know even though this is primarily your dream, it's also collectively hers. So that's amazing, and thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, it correlates to your employees also, the people that work for you. You know, of course, your spouse has to support you, and you know, it also depends on the product, right? On what you're doing, and the value of it. That's the main tool to have people kind of on the same page with you and support your vision or your
kind of have the wavelength, right? Yeah.
Huh?
Kind of have like the same wavelength.
Yeah, the same wavelength. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you know, it just makes things a lot easier. So it's not always about the talent or whatever a certain individual brings to your company. It's about the belief system on, do they believe in your product? You know, that's why I always believe in keeping my team small. I always kept it at like 10 or 12. I always believed in small but mighty, you know?
That's true. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if there are too many cooks, you know, sometimes the end masterpiece, right? It doesn't become a masterpiece technically.
You know, not everybody's dream is to have a large scale company with thousands of employees. To me, that's a big headache. You know, that's a lot of moving pieces. And if it gets to that point, okay, yeah, that's great. But right now, small but mighty, you know?
Yeah, you kind of want to have I feel you. It's good to kind of have a core family. I was going to say team, but family I think is a nicer way of saying it. You want to have that good relationship, so.
Oh, dude, it's all about communication also.
Yeah.
You know? And with a smaller team, communication is just so much easier. The fluidity of how things are done is it just makes life so much easier.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you talking about that communication. Keeping a tight-knit community for this product. So the reason why I'm here with Romel, he's actually been doing a lot of big things, and I appreciate, helping our fellow.
Big.
It's amazing though. I mean, he's being humble right now.
I don't even know how this is even happening, but it is kind of surreal in a way, But go ahead, man. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, for sure. I don't know if we disclosed the name, but OJT Connect.
Yeah.
You've been doing a lot of great things. I think when I saw Romel a year ago, we also had a little chit chat on the phone, and I think you were still forming this dream, OJT Connect. And I love it because you give a platform for especially graduates and just individuals who are trying to get into the tech field. And let's be real, once you graduate from the Philippines, especially, I know you're hitting up the rural parts. Instead of landing a job what they studied for, sometimes they land on I don't want to say names, but a restaurant, fast casual, or they do stuff that, or call centers,
call centers, ooh, call centers, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a dagger to the heart right now, yeah.
Like not to hit on those that do appreciate and actually enjoy those careers, but especially particularly in software development and the tech business, it's hard, right? I guess.
Yeah, OJT Connect. It stems from something deeper, Let me kind of say this quote. In this quote, I say this all the time in my head, and it kind of reminds me of what I'm trying to do. And it was from an article I read when I started this initiative and this development. And, I forgot the journalist's name, but it states talent is everywhere.
Yeah.
But opportunity isn't. And the world is missing out on it. So when you kind of hear that, what does it kind of tell you? Is that unfortunately, in our world, the privileged, we have more opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Than the less privileged. And we kind of look at that quote and we think about the Philippines. There's always been these current problems we had within our culture that we don't really identify in, but it's within our world, and you see it so much on movies and television, and we even hear from our own parents, right? So that word is sacrifice. Why is our culture always having to sacrifice in order for a better life? So even just the word or the title OFW, overseas worker, right?
Yes.
So and in a lot of these cases, when we think of OFW, Filipinos leave the country. Some of them have a degree in a specific field, but they leave the country for a better job that doesn't pertain to their study, right?
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, the world, in terms of corporate America or just corporations in the world, they value the employment, I guess the workforce in the Philippines as, hey, they speak English very well and they got good work ethic. So that's why we have a lot of outsourcing of call centers.
That's true.
And virtual assistants. But then the dark side of it is that those certain positions are considered mid-level positions, so the pay is very well. But unfortunately, a lot of these individuals who are working in those fields, they went to school for example, let's say computer science.
Yeah.
But they can't get a job in computer science or a software developer, so they resort to, hey, call center, because it pays well. But so what does that do? That kind of crushes the dream of an individual who's going to school for a particular field, right?
Yeah.
So the whole purpose of OJT Connect, whether you're a college student or alumni or an individual who's trying to pivot their career, is to connect with companies abroad for an internship or an OJT position where two things could happen. They get relevant work experience remotely, and at the same time, these overseas companies, it's like a test trial for them.
Yeah.
So they could identify that hidden talent that was probably overshadowed, right?
That's true.
That they haven't seen. So, the main issue of OJT Connect, what we're trying to do is we're trying to fight the issue of job mismatch.
Yes.
And we want to change the dynamic of the Philippine workforce. There's more to what we can do than what the world sees.
Yeah.
We just have to provide that opportunity. And me being blessed in terms of my career, me being Filipino, I think it's only right that when Filipinos here who were given that opportunity to do something better with our success, right? It's not about,
Just
the
settling.
success of wealth. It's
Yeah.
about it's about the success of value is what's important to me, is what can I do to change the life of others and generations to come. If I fail, crap. But I tried,
I don't think it'll, but
I know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
then it's just, it just bothers me. It does. And us being Filipino, we just never, we never talk about it.
That's
know?
true. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes we just do whatever it takes and just settle for whatever is in front of us instead of shooting for the stars, if you will, or shooting for what we really want to do in life.
Well, the thing is, we always just focus on what pays the best, not really about the dream of what we wanted to do. But if you have barriers that prevent you from getting into that dream or the lack of opportunity, I get it. You got to settle for what pays the best in order to survive. The thing about the Philippines is that they're trying to push forward with AI, and they're trying to catch up with the world. But how could you catch up with the world when you don't have the infrastructure to catch up with the world? You could present the new technology that the world's doing right now, but how about the manpower?
Yes.
How about the experience from your own people in order to keep up with the current software and new technologies that are being created? Why jump on the bandwagon where you don't have the resources to even enjoy that ride?
It's true.
Yeah.
That's the heart of a Filipino usually, and I believe it. They're the hardest working. They'll go above and beyond and put in the hours, and even like if they're clocked out, they'll still like be in. And if you can put all that potential like energy and talent into the opportunity where they really want to go into, I mean, how magnificent is that?
It's crazy. You go to the province, right?
Yeah.
You go to the province in the Philippines and you ride in these freaking odd vehicles that were created, right? So I was in Quezon province, and I rode in this, like, I forgot what they call it. It's like a mini jeepney. It's like a 2-seater, right?
Oh,
I forgot what they call it. It's not a tricycle, but it was like a mini type of jeepney, right? I forgot what they call it. One of the professors told me what it was called, but I remember sitting down, and then I had like a 5-gallon like bottle in front of me of like like those Airhead waters you see, like people, the guys delivering it to the house, like a 5-gallon or whatever. So it was sitting between my legs like this, right? Like you see all these these little tubings going sort to the engine. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, dude, is this the gas tank? You know what I'm saying? Like, but the crazy thing is like, whoever created that
innovators
was not a freaking engineer. Like was not like probably didn't take a class in like automotive or mechanical engineering, or he just improvised.
Yeah.
Just imagine if you're able to kind of MacGyver status, dude. So even with our dads, right? Our dads. Your dad's retired Navy. We're in San Diego. I forgot. Which
he was in the Navy for a bit.
Yeah. So my dad's in the Navy, right? So the crazy thing, like my dad. So we had to move. We moved from Mira Mesa to, when I was in college, we moved from Mira Mesa to Carmel Valley. Of course, Filipino parents, they don't want to, we're not going to rent a U-Haul. We used my sister's Frontier, right? It was like a 2000 Frontier manual. And these Nissans didn't have that much power and torque, right? But it was a short bed. It was like one of those sport pickup trucks.
Yeah.
Dude.
Mira Mesa to Carmel Valley is not
So my dad was able to move a whole house, of course, multiple trips, using this short bed pickup truck. And all he needed was rope and some tarp.
Oh my gosh.
And but it was done, right? So the thing about Filipinos is that we're good at improvising.
Yeah.
It may not look pretty. It's always ugly half the time how we improvise. Yeah. But we get it done.
Yes.
So just imagine if you were to like get that hidden talent in the province, and imagine what innovations they could do. Imagine what they could create if taught correctly,
That's true. Yeah, giving the right training and everything.
The right training, yeah, dude.
I like what you mentioned. Rural. You work with a lot of universities.
Yeah.
And one thing I have to give a shout out. My family's from Pangasinan, so shout out to the Pangasinan folks. Shout out to Gerard de Guzman, the comedian who's from Pangasinan too.
Nice.
I know you had a partnership with the universities there, right?
Yeah. So Pangasinan State University and University of Eastern Pangasinan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's the two colleges. OJT Connect is currently they're using OJT Connect at the moment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Bridging the gap. I like what you mentioned, the rural places, because yeah, I think definitely the rural areas have that, challenge to know the opportunity.
I always say they're about they're about 10 steps back compared to those from the city. Of course, like UP Diliman, like we those Ivy League ones in the city, they do reach out, but our focus are the less privileged, the ones who don't have that much opportunity. Of course, the platform is open to everybody, but like I said, the initiative was for the less fortunate,
Yeah, thank you for doing that. And I think just your approach when it comes to these projects, I know you had some other projects that you've done in the past, but one thing I love about you is you're looking at how it can impact the overall community and how the product will make a difference, to the world. So
and that's the beauty of it. It's the world is kind of jumping on this AI train. And
I'm still catching up. I don't even know anything.
Don't get me wrong. I was never the kind of guy to kind of follow like the steps of hype, right? And don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are gonna be tech companies out there that develop some crazy AI or whatever, But what is AI, right? That's the question, right? But there's nothing wrong with like fixing problems with traditional ways or traditional developments.
Yeah.
OJT Connect is just a basic website, but it fixes a bigger problem.
It really is a bridge.
It really is a bridge.
Yeah.
So I kind of pivoted my world into more meaningful developments, then kind of creating something that caters to our convenience. And I get it. Those type of technologies are extremely popular. Like, what's going to make me not have to do this or that? Right?
I feel like it's all shortcuts.
It's all shortcuts.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I use it. But
I'm still learning. I'll probably ask you after this how to use them.
I use that, like these applications or websites that kind of cater to convenience. But as me as a tech founder, it's more, when I want to create something now, it's more personal. The value of it is more meaningful to me. In terms of social change, that's important. Yeah.
Backtracking to what we were talking about earlier, especially with your team and how you develop your company, communication is key. And I feel like besides AI being a sort of communication, that personal relationship that you can only have with a human being is so important. And I appreciate you magnifying that.
It's funny, every time I interview somebody who applies for a position, I'm organic, just like how I am with you.
Yeah.
I like to look at a new hire or someone who's interviewing for me kind of like a first date. It's funny
real talk.
It's real talk, because it's not only about there's about like 5 or 10 other candidates who have the same skill set as you, who have the same experience, right? My main focus is, I know you have the skills, but I'm able to work with you.
Yes.
Are you able to work with the team?
Can we have a relationship?
Because our team has a certain dynamic, and you got to have a lot of patience to work for me. So, if we don't click, it's just not going to work out. When I interview or when I meet a potential employee, I tell them the same thing. I'm straight up. I go, this is like a first date. I want you to be yourself.
So should I bring you a box of chocolates on our first?
No. Nah, man. Yeah.
Or are you diabetic? I'm diabetic, so.
No, I'm not diabetic, but it depends on the chocolate, Gerard.
Okay, what was it?
Oh, you know what I just tried? I tried that Dubai chocolate. They have one in Balboa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not like the ones that you see like on the social media. It's like a thick chocolate, and you open it up, there's all this pistachios, but this is a little thinner. But dude, $10?
Yeah,
but it was good though.
Good chocolate.
It tastes like a Toblerone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dog, Topi.
Oh, you don't?
My dog's name is Toblerone.
It's Tala too, right?
Tala, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my dog's name is Tala.
I was gonna say, we share a commonality. We have both of our dogs are named Tala. Bright Star, right?
Yeah, funny story about that is that when we were looking for a corgi, if I got a boy, I wanted to name him Pogi.
Oh.
Yeah, Pogi's a good name, but then
that could be an addition in the future. No,
man, one corgi is good enough, man. I'm telling you, dude. But we got a girl. And I was like, we're trying to think of a name. And then my wife was like, hey, man, we're in the Philippines. They had that Sarah Geronimo song.
Oh, yeah.
Playing it everywhere. Ta-la, ta. You know the song, right?
I'm going to make that as my soundbite.
But I was like, you know what? It's a good name because, she was a gorgeous dog. Super sweet.
She's cute. I love her.
Yeah, and then, Tala means like rising star or shooting star or something like that. So that's a perfect name. You know?
It's a beautiful. And I think Tala is the grandma's name in Moana too. I think.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's why I was like,
my wife is like a big Disney person.
Oh, okay.
She got that, that year whatever pass, and she got me one
did?
too. Yeah, man. Not gonna lie, dude. She hears from me all the time. I'm like reality. If I had to choose going to Disneyland, I'm like once a year kind of guy.
Yeah,
because it's the magic, right?
Yeah, you don't want the magic to fade.
But if you go every month, there's no magic, man.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
When we had the annual pass, I just remember, let's just go in the evening because it's just right there.
Dude, they get us for that whole lightning pass thing because these lines are just redonkulous.
It's 5 hours to get into Radiator Springs, right?
I got no patience, man. Like, so they get you with, you pay for the lightning pass. If it's like a popular ride, you got to pay for the popular ride on top of the lightning pass. Would you end up doing it? It just, when you look at the business and everything, you're just like, man, these geniuses.
They know what they're doing, yeah.
And they're bringing more alcohol to Disneyland because there's more Disneyland adults.
California Adventures.
Yeah, than children. So it's just geniuses, man.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
the algorithms or the people.
Dude, my gulai, man.
Yeah.
When's the last time you heard that?
Oh, my gulai?
My gulai. Yeah.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Dude.
Thanks for bringing that. I might start saying it. Even my wife might say that because she knows I need to eat more vegetables.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. But no, see, just organic conversations like this, and then like what you mentioned, going back to, I like what you said. It's like a first date when working for you because you want to make sure that
this is like a first date.
It is.
I've been talking a lot. Okay? Well, maybe. Yeah, you're doing great. You see, I'm looking at you, Gerard.
Oh man,
super focused. You see?
Are you looking at the talas inside the No, I love that, man, and hopefully for any future courtships, if you guys get to see this, and hopefully, who knows? I don't know if this is going to reach the Philippines, but
you never know.
If you see Romel,
anything can happen, Gerard.
I was going to say, just knowing your story about OJT, and just hearing that's amazing, man.
I don't know a line of code, Gerard.
Oh yeah, I don't code.
What's my? Oh well, you can say it. What's my Instagram? I don't code 84.
Yeah. Oh yeah, your birthday.
I don't code 84. I don't.
I guess let's go on that because I think when we reconnected, just knowing that you got into this whole software development, I was like, do you do your own framework? How did it all come into fruition? I guess I know you said like it was a meetup somewhere, and
it's funny that we talked about Disneyland. With Dip Social, it was because I'm impatient. And I've always had this idea about like, okay, well, it started at Disneyland, and this is before like you had the app for Disneyland. Oh, and you had these fast tickets or whatever, right? Remember you had, and then you had these wait times, right? So I always thought like, oh man, like wouldn't it be nice to ask people who are already waiting in line, like how long the wait is, right? So that kind of transitioned to like, okay, all these new restaurants were popping up in San Diego.
Yeah.
Like let's say Convoy, right? And you're like, oh my God, like I'm not gonna go to that place on a Friday night because it's freaking crazy.
The parking sucks.
So, so I'm gonna come on a Tuesday, and hopefully people got lives and they got jobs the next day, so it'll be a better time for me to go. So Dip Social was a establishment-based chat room application. So you just kind of think about Yelp, but instead of like for every establishment, they would have a review section, right? Mm-hmm. It was just an open source chat room where people there would check in and people at home could communicate them all in real time and ask, hey, how good the food is. How long did you wait? That's my, thing. Like, I don't know if I want to go. It just helps you make a decision if you're planning on going to a certain location.
Yeah, like, is it worth the wait?
Is it worth the wait? Is the food really that good? Because, man, these foodies make it look so good. Is it really that good, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I've always believed in communication. Right, and I think with anything in life, whether it comes relationships, friendships, business, communication is so important. It's getting the right information in order for you to make a decision.
Yeah.
So I always valued communication, and that's where kind of Dip Social kind of was created, and it just kind of went from there.
Cool. And since you mentioned that, and again, personal touch is always key.
Yeah.
I'm glad you say that. So you said you don't code. How did you get in touch with folks?
So with Dip Social, I had an initial investment. I had a business partner at the time for that particular application. It's funny story is, I had an S2000, and then this gentleman that I partnered up with had an S2000 also. So we're part of this S2000 club, right?
Dang.
So he was getting his MBA at Cal State San Marcos. And then me and him were talking. We got really close because we both had S2000s, you know. And I said, I got this fart idea. You know, what do you think of it? And he goes, oh, I love that idea. And then we're both not software developers, you know. And
dreamers.
We're dreamers, you know. And in his program, one of his classmates was an engineering manager at Qualcomm. And he pitched it to him, and he connected us to his buddy in India who was a software developer. Shoot, homie, I'm Filipino. I don't even trust people in my own country, let alone pick another country, right? So it's
initially.
Yeah. So this is like my first time kind of going into this world, right? Investing X amount of money into a platform to be built. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really fortunate to have this team in India. You know, we launched OJT Connect. After that, I built a relationship with this team in India, and we started building more platforms after that, and it was great. You know, and
you build a rapport,
you build a rapport. You know, so that's just kind of how now I have a software development team in India. I'm not in India, Philippines.
Oh yeah, now.
So, but it all just kind of works out, and I don't know a line of code. You know, my developers would show me GitHub, and I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Does it work?
Yeah.
You know, put it on the emulator. Is it working? You know, that's all I need to know. Yeah, am I clicking it? Is it deployed? That's all I know. But that's the funny story. Every time I speak at a university, there's always some like computer science professor who asks me about,
yeah, they'll be like
the
putting
language.
you on the spot.
I'm like, so every time I do a talk, I go, first of all, I'm not a software developer. It's just not my world, you know?
That's humble though. Just being straight up with you.
I'm not going to BS you and say I know a line of code. Nope.
Yeah, it's like, so what framework? Blah, blah, blah. Like I don't.
But it's happening. Yeah. I don't know how it's happening, but it's there. You know, but that's why it's very humbling. Even my dad, even till this day, he goes, "How the hell is this happening?" You know, like I got an email from the president of the Ayala Foundation. And anything Ayala in the Philippines is freaking huge, right? Because Ayala is they're like the biggest conglomerate in the Philippines. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy emailing me? Like, I can't even spell sometimes, man. You know, it's a joke. I try my best to spell, but let's be honest, right? Yeah. Sometimes we mess up on our spelling, and I guess it's just my humble side of coming out. But it gets a little surreal when you're like, well, crap, like, yeah, am I really venturing into these waters that I have no idea what I'm getting myself into? You know,
that's why it's so amazing. I know earlier we were saying how rapid this like dream is. Becoming. Dang.
Dude, the funniest one is like when I got interviewed on CNN. Dude, I was not prepared for that. Dude, like, and it was Rico Hizon. He's he was a journalist on BBC Asia. Like, this guy was like one of the higher end, journalists. And I'm
never gonna reach that level.
No, they want. Now you will, man. Anything freaking happen, dude. Like they wanted me. Like my casting call or the log on the computer was like at 5 a.m. It's my first time ever being on live TV. I know it's Philippines, but like when you hear like CNN, you're like, dude, like what the hell am I doing on this thing, right? I couldn't sleep the night before. I was so nervous, like days leading up to it, because I'm like. It's scary, man. Like just the word, like the name CNN, you're like, whoa, like how's this even happening, right? And it wasn't even. This was like an actual interview, you know.
And it's live. Anything goes.
Live. Anything goes, man. And
this is live, by the way. No, I'll play.
Dude. Well, you're gonna get what you're gonna get, Gerard. So I ended up catching a cold because of all the stress. Oh. And I had like stress rashes going on me too.
Oh, bro.
So I had like sepoin and all that stuff, just completely wrong. My laptop didn't work for some reason, so I had to use my phone for the interview. So I held my iPhone to like a certain angle, and then I thought the angle was good, and then I was talking to producers on the phone. They're like, "Oh, Mr. Romero, could you put it this way, that way?" Dude, my camera angle on my phone was from the bottom up, so you can see my double chin, man. I'm like, holy crap! So I was like, bloated, I know, but I felt like swollen. Even my aunt, who was watching in the Philippines, was like, "Did Romel gain some weight?"
Oh man, aunties, they'll say as it is.
Oh my god, it's freaking daggers to the heart. First time you're on like live TV, and then you see yourself. So till this day, I have not watched the entire segment of it.
Oh man!
Like I watched the beginning.
We'll have a watch party.
You know, I watched the beginning, and then I get all, oh, I can't watch myself, and I just turn it off. You know, and then I just don't. You know, that's what you notice on my Instagram. I only play the beginning.
Yeah, I know.
So when the journalist would like introduce me, boom, that's it. I'm not gonna watch myself. Nah,
oh, man. I'll do that for you, bro.
Yeah,
please watch this though. When it
yeah, I'm not gonna watch it either.
Everyone else, be sure to watch the.
Oh man, I'm not gonna watch it either. Oh, dude.
Romel Romero.
Oh,
sorry, he's taken. Dang. So all that happened, went down. I mean, you know, it is what it is, but. Like you said, MacGyver status. You gotta do whatever.
Dude, I know, man. And then when I was in the Philippines, I had to do in the Philippines was the first time I had to do live in studio interviews.
Yes, I saw those, man. You look good there, bro.
Dude, I was nervous also, man. I couldn't sleep the night before.
Oh.
And I had to do like a morning news at like 5:30 for TV5, and I couldn't sleep. I actually woke up at like 3:45 to go run downstairs because I was at my parents' condo, so I went to go run just to kind of took pre-workout, wake up a little bit.
Dang.
And so good thing they had like makeup or whatever to kind of make me look more awake. And then after that, you know, I had to do the ABS-CBN news, and that was live in studio also.
That's big too, yeah.
I was just like, dude, man, like I'm not cut out for this freaking, but I get it. It has to be done, you know? Like these interviews are important.
I was gonna say thank you, by the way, for doing this.
Huh?
Thank you, by the way, for doing this.
Oh, no, man, it's all good. It's a little different because, you know, I know you, Gerard. And the thing about these interviews is that when you watch, like, all these news interviews, right? And I think the reason why I psych myself out is when you look at, you know, like, journalists, right? These important interviews that you see on TV. People who are getting interviewed, they're so structured. You know, they sound just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? They sound scripted. Dude, bro, if you're gonna make me, if you're gonna script me, dude, it's not happening.
Yeah, like you said, keep it organic.
I can't do it, dude.
Yeah.
So, you know, I told myself when I first published my first app, I've always believed in being organic and just being yourself because
you don't want to have a guard up the whole time.
Yeah, but then if you want people to kind of understand you and kind of tune into whatever product you're developing. You gotta be yourself, because you don't want to sound like a molded salesman in order to pitch a product for profit. Yeah. You want them to understand you, kind of like I'm in a first date with the world.
Yes.
So they generally know that your whatever you're creating is coming from a really good place.
Yeah, you actually have a passion for this.
Yeah, there's actually something behind it, you know, and you know I always believed in. If the world needs to know you in order to believe in your product.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that's why...
But did I get you a little bit?
What's up?
Did I get you? Is it working on you, Gerard?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you first gauged at me, you know? When I saw those eyes, I saw Tala, Bright Star.
Oh, the eye bags? Yeah.
No, I was looking deeper.
Make sure you go through the eye bags. And then
I'll post that. This is in 4K, so I guess it can work.
Dude, that's even worse.
Oh, yeah, it's the sharpening, the high definition.
I know.
The ultra high.
Ooh, good thing, you know, it's funny because I sometimes, like, I use this thing called Is it Matchbox? It's supposed to kind of like, you put it on your face, and, you know, when you have like little blemishes or little red, it kind of like evens everything out. But I don't think it really works on eye bags. So.
Oh, is this like an app or?
No. It's just like it's like a facial cream, you know, Matchbox. And then you just because like I don't think I'm like.
Brought to you by Matchbox.
yeah. So you know, people always go like, "Hey, Romel, you're light skinned Filipino." I go, "No,
you are, bro."
I think I'm like purple. Or like red, pink, you know. So I guess this little thing kind of evens out your facial, you know, color. Oh. I think mentally, I think it works, but I don't know if it does. But I don't know, man. But it doesn't work with eye bags, especially in 4K.
Oh,
so thanks for telling me that, Gerard.
Oops. I'll downsize the resolution.
1080p.
Yeah, or 720. So you know it'll be hard to tell. You'll just look smooth. So somewhat. No. Yeah. You know, we were here to talk about, you know, definitely you and what you've been bringing to the world lately. You know, one thing I guess in summary is, what I love about the products that you've developed or you dreamed about. I know you don't, you know. Yeah. Dream. Well, we'll use the term dream.
It is dreaming.
It is.
You gotta have a dream, right?
Yeah, for sure. One big thing I think that you really brought to this world, you said, your first date with the world, definitely brought a lot of quality of life. I think everything that you've dreamed about has been an outlet for folks to also dream and also to communicate and connect with the world. And I think one takeaway is believing. You always talked about believing. I think, when you dream about something, you have to believe it. You have to put your whole heart into it. And this whole podcast is called Operation Fulfill, and I think you are definitely a person of fulfillment.
If I were to say one thing, just don't take yourself too seriously. One thing, when it comes to, this is my perspective when it comes to business, you just got to be extremely selfless. It's not about you. It's about the people that work for you. It's about the change you're trying to make. It's selfless, man, and being organic, being yourself. People don't realize if you just be organic, just be yourself, that's your product already for you. Just don't overthink things, man. Don't be afraid to of course, there's always this, the concept of, people's advice, don't be afraid of risk or whatever, but you could have a dream, you just got to execute it, and just don't take it too seriously, man. Just go with the flow if it goes somewhere,
That's true, yeah. Because, if you're too hard-edged.
Don't be too hard on yourself, man.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go anywhere, okay, well, crap, right?
Yeah.
Try another thing, right?
That's true, yeah.
But then, when things happen, for example, like OJT Connect, and things are just going out of control, it humbles you. You're put in a position where how the hell is this happening to me, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it makes the experience so much better because it's so surreal,
Yeah, and you're definitely riding the waves, while we're talking.
Riding the waves on nothing. I think I'm body surfing or something. You know?
Are?
Yeah, man.
Dang, man.
I don't know where I'm gonna go with this, man. But then even if it gets to a certain peak and it just drops off, oh well, man, just enjoy the ride. Because
enjoy the moment,
enjoy the moment, because even if it doesn't scale to a certain point in life, where you want it to scale, who cares? Just enjoy the moments, man.
It's an experience to embrace and we'll bring to other chapters, right?
Yeah, man. But if it does, great. It's not fun.
Yeah, man. I could see that in you. You're having a lot of enjoyment and.
Oh yeah, because still I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I don't code.
Fun fact: I don't know what I'm doing. And you have to be honest with yourself.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing, but it's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Making waves, since we're on that tip.
What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing, but it's just you just make decisions as they go.
Yeah.
I don't have a business plan. I don't. It's just these smart ideas. It's these avenues we take or I take. They work and they don't. Yep. So.
Just amazing, man. I'm humbled, that to hear that you're even humbled by this dream that
Yeah, I don't even know why. I told you, man. You picked the wrong guy to interview.
No,
Shoot, baby.
I picked it correct. Two wrongs make a right. I guess. Well, Romel, thank you so much. I love you, brother, and I love what you're doing, especially the pride of us being Filipino and helping all our fellow countrymen, our familia back home.
Yeah.
You're having your upcoming trip to the Philippines, and you've already been there a good amount of times. I guess what's something that you've taken away as far as your experiences that you've enjoyed, or any favorite foods, or what have you kind of gained from your trips to the Philippines?
Being Filipino, we for how often I visit the Philippines, of course, the touristy parts we enjoy, right? And that's what traditionally we enjoy when we visit, right? But if you were to ask me what I enjoyed the most, especially in the past couple trips, was getting to know the folks in the province. Not necessarily your family, right, who live in the province, but just random people. Visiting a college, for example, and getting to talk to all the college students in that general area, or just maybe talking to your family's neighbors, because you really get to understand the life of these individuals, and you get to understand your culture more, right? And how the real life of a person lives in the Philippines.
I like that. When you just talk to your family, that's it. You only know one family in that community, but get to know everyone. You know, they become family eventually.
But the beauty of it is that you hear the same things that come out, you know, of these individuals' minds. Is life is very hard, right? Life is very hard. We hear that all the time. Life is so hard.
Yeah, in the province.
But at the same time, it's kind of hard to believe that, right? Of course, you feel for them because life is hard. But then, why are you so happy? Yeah, why are you so happy, right? Like, you got a smile on your face, and you know, even though life is hard, like they're happy, and it just shows the characteristics of Filipinos in the province. They're so resilient, and it doesn't have to be well. It's just their personalities, man. You know, like that's the thing about Filipinos. Even though life is hard, we're resilient, positive. You know,
that's true. Yeah, there's always an optimism, like when you see, or like a fire in their hearts, if you will. So,
but you know, it's just we you know, us over here, we like to learn about our history, and you know, we focus so much on representation, right? And don't get me wrong, that's so important, especially in the U.S. Is I get representation so important, but you know, we can't lose sight. You know, if we have the ability to fix a problem of our countrymen back home, you know, over here, when it comes to, you know, identifying, you know, us Filipinos in a certain market or field in the U.S., we have to remember that we have so much opportunity, and you know, we can't forget about our countrymen back home, even if we weren't born there. If we have the ability to help a change, why not focus back home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go back to your roots a little.
Go back to your roots, even if you weren't born there. And that's where it kind of like go back into going back home and just talking to those in the province, right? Understanding what the real problem is, and we don't want to fix problems where it's a quick fix, and that's always been our way of fixing problems.
Yeah.
How do we fix it really fast?
Yeah.
We don't think about the generations to come and how we could fix the future of things. You know, we think of quick fixes. And we look at that, and don't be wrong, it is a good deed, what we do sometimes, but it's a quick fix, you know.
Yeah, it's just a momentary.
Momentary fix, thing. But you know, if we kind of focus on the generations to come, it can lead to bigger and better things, right?
It's true. Yeah. You kind of you want a legacy, like. Not necessarily your
not mine, but we
for everyone,
everybody. We know it's social change, right? You know, you can't fix a culture until you kind of identify what the real problems are and how it could change things dramatically for generations to come, right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm speechless right now because that's. You know, it's amazing what you're doing, and just, you know, just wanting to see our homeland, if you will, gain fruits and to strive.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just to be indifferent, just to settle for whatever is at hand, but to spread their wings, if you will. So.
Yeah, because who knows what could come out, right?
Yeah.
Who knows what hidden talents there is in the more rural areas of the Philippines? We will never know, right?
It's true. Yeah.
So,
well, bro, thank you for giving the opportunity for, you know, not just for you changing the world, but giving opportunity to others, you know, changing the world, and for especially, you know, these rural parts, like opening doors for them, if you will.
Yeah.
And I guess for, you know, anyone that's watching this, you know, we talked about it earlier. You know, sometimes folks do the grand scheme of things, you know, just for monetary gain or for popularity or you know, and that kind of wealth. But something that you come in, you know, personally, I think is something that I think folks should do. I guess if you wanted to expound on that, how to really move in or how to dream, if you will.
Follow your path. Create your own path.
Yeah, that's what I remember you say.
You know, and that's the thing with our culture is we tend to be fearful of creating our own path to a certain goal, to a certain dream. We like to follow, you know, things that have been proven already, right? Because it's safe, I get it. But if you create your own path, kind of be yourself, you know,
take the risk.
Take the risk and just be you, right? It's going to be a lot easier because you're comfortable, right?
Yeah,
You know, it's a little bit more easier because you don't have to follow whatever path you thought, you know, just because everybody else is doing, right? Just because it may have worked for X amount of people doesn't mean it's the right path for you. And how could you keep up with that? You know?
Because it changes a lot.
Yeah. Well, you know, how could you keep up with something that you're really not?
Yeah.
So if you're organic and you're just who you are, just stick to it. Create your own lane, regardless of what people think. Who cares if you feel alone in this world? There's nothing wrong with it. You know?
It's true, huh?
Yeah, just be yourself, man. Like you don't have to be popular. It's not about being popular.
It's who you are.
Yeah.
Ultimately. So.
Yeah.
And on that note, I kind of want to. It reminds when you were talking, I was thinking of that line that Doc Brown says in Back to the Future. Roads. There are no roads.
There are no roads, man. Yeah. There is no plan. You know.
Yeah, like you said, like I don't know what I'm doing. Like
I don't know
sometimes.
what I'm doing. I don't have a business plan. I think Elon Musk even says that too. He goes, I don't have a business plan. If you keep following the paths of others, it's good to kind of learn, but eventually you got to create your own path. You know.
That's true.
It's the power of being original. Right.
Yeah, it's definitely good to learn from others, but ultimately it's who you are.
You just gotta remember, just because it worked for them doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. Yeah.
Wow. So. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's Operation Fulfill in a nutshell. Well, Romel, thank you.
Yeah.
Bro, I appreciate you. Especially saying you coming in this approach of the road less traveled. Thank you for giving others, especially in the Philippines, that opportunity to also spread their wings and to create their own path ultimately of what they want to do. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you for being a part of Operation Fulfill, which is on the channel Gerard Loves Life. Gerard loves Romel too. We're gonna go.
I love you too, Gerard.
We're gonna go on our second date. This is our first date after a long time.
First date, man. You got me in the heat.
I don't. I'm trying to put a ring on it. Oh wait, Mary Jane already did that. Nah, I appreciate you, man. Safe travels and continued high hopes and fulfillment in this dream, and just looking forward to continue seeing you grow, man.
Yeah.
And just being along this ride. So.
Yeah, thanks, Gerard, for having me. I'm really glad that we kind of we think alike in terms of the reason why we're doing what we're doing.
Thank you.
So I do appreciate your time. And honestly, just glad to catch up with you.
For sure, man. Yeah. We besides off camera, we'll definitely connect. I don't live too far from you.
So.
All right. Before this thing malfunctions again, I'm gonna end it here.
Okay.
Have a good day, everyone.
All right. See ya.